Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and let's talk about Jim Lee, because I completely forgot to talk about this when it was like a major thing or whatever, but I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna bring it up because we just need to talk. As you guys know, Jim Lee is the active creative officer at DC, and DC just renewed his contract, which I don't know why the fuck they are, because what the fuck you getting? You're only getting promotional images, and that's it. That ain't nothing. That ain't worth the shit is waiting. Because honestly, ever since Jim Lee went to DC, he really hasn't been doing nothing for DC, honestly, besides promotional images and variant covers. He did two comic books. That was Batman Hush and then the New 52. And then after that, he tried I think it was Damage. Was it Damage, I believe, was the one that he was supposed to be headlining, and did the first couple of pages and got the hell on. I'm sorry. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Then allowed Superman's logo to be changed from Truth, Justice, and the American Way to Truth, Justice, and Better Tomorrow, and all that bullshit that got, one of his old friends, Gabe Itayi, to leave for, Rippaverse. Like, it just don't make sense. Like, what are we getting? And then the fact that Marvel was trying to offer Jim Lee's money so he could leave DC to help with the X-Men relaunch, which honestly, go for it. I would have preferred Jim going over to the Marvel at this point, because what he's doing for DC really ain't working. And honestly, his universe really works more so, Wildstorm that he created really works well with Marvel over DC anyway, because they're not doing anything with it. And then it's just like, as a person, like, honestly, if the company brought my universe just to get me and my artwork or my art skills or whatever and my characters, yes, my universe characters would be fucking everywhere. Y'all would have got tired of my characters. Because why? Because y'all brought my universe. Yes, I'm gonna make sure my characters are ingrained with the DC universe. I definitely would. The Wildstorm universe would definitely be more heavily integrated, and that's what the New 52 was supposed to be. But then it's just like, half of that shit didn't make no damn sense, because not only are you restarting the Wildstorm universe, you're also restarting the DC universe, which what you should have did is bring in the Wildstorm universe and just treat it like it was always there, kind of like how the Dakotaverse kind of came in when they got brought Dwayne McDuffie, the Dakotaverse. Yeah, that's what Milestone Comics, which is a offshoot of DC comic books anyway. But I'm just saying, like, just create an event, bring them in, and just treat it like their histories and stuff has always been there. That's it. That's all you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Get your ass over. Damn. Fuck. You over in the damn turning lane. Move your monkey ass. Dumbass. I ain't never seen nobody take forever to get the fucking a turning lane before. And it's a two-way turning lane. Dumbass. But anyway, just treat it like that. That's why the New 52 wasn't successful, is because you trying to do all of this, bring in a new audience or whatever, and trying to start fresh. You don't need to start fresh. All you have to do is just treat the Wildstorm characters like you did with the Milestone universe. You merge them into the DC universe, and just treat it like their histories was already there. That's it. The same thing is like how Vertigo Comic Books is part of the DC universe. Everything that happened in the Vertigo Comic Book universe, it happened in the DC universe. It's just that it's an offshoot of the DC universe. We know that Sandman, John Constantine, all of those comic books in Vertigo Comic Books, it's in the DC universe. That's what it is. Swamp Thing, all of it. DC universe. We already know that. So I don't understand why Jim Lee didn't fight a little bit more, or get a little bit more creative or whatever. And don't get me wrong, it just feels like he's like Stan Lee at his twilight years, where that's all they use Jim Lee for, is like, oh well, Jim still can just do some variant covers, and we're also gonna have him stand on the red carpet while he talks about how great a certain movie is or whatever, when in truth it's really not, or whatever. And then of course I know some people got mad at that he was charging a lot for commissions and whatever, which granted he does have the talent or whatever. So I understand that some people were like, what the fuck? And honestly, it would be nice to get a commission piece from Jim Lee, but I don't know. At the same time, he kind of feels like he got lazy. Like, he still got talent, but he feels lazy. Like, he feels like he's just barely given the bare minimum, which that's what I feel how he's running the DC universe, you know? And then it's just like, what the hell did DC renew the contract for, or up him for some more money for what? What? Like, honestly, no. As a person, even taking away his artistry skills, I'm talking about as sitting in a executive office. What has he done in DC? He let all these people come in, these activists come in, and destroy every last character from DC Universe to the point where they can't sell these characters anymore. You let them race swap, sexuality swap, gender swap these characters, these iconic characters from the world of DC. And for what? And while you sleep at the fucking wheel. And then you go to conventions, but your monkey ass barely won't come over to you barely want to come over to this side of the damn coast. Your ass always want to go to fucking New York City or the the Midwest ones, and the West Coast, but bring your behind down here to the South. Yeah. Bring your ass to Dragon Con or something. MomoCon. Yeah. So somebody can give you a real piece of the pie. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. A lot of times too, when it comes to comic books as well, it's always neglected here too. I live in the southern hemisphere of the United States anyway. East Coast, southern, south, and let's be honest, it ain't really much for comic books around these parts, and most of y'all don't even bring y'all happy asses to none of the conventions surrounding. Y'all will go up to New York City. Oh wow, congratulations. Chicago. Oh wow, that's something. But that's about it. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm sorry. That's getting off tangents. The reason why we're talking about, people are kind of like concerned, because it's just like he sleep at the wheel, but DC just renewed his contract. Marvel was trying to siphon him off for the X-Men relaunch, which would have been better because that's where most of his primary work come from. I mean, you haven't even finished All-Star Batman and Robin at all. It took forever to get him to goddamn finish Hush. Justice League, the New 52 was a fluke, honestly. And it just makes you wonder, like, what the hell are we doing here? What the hell is he here for if he's not even going to do any work? And I understand some people are like, oh, well, he's, and I get it. He is a little bit older, but all that time, it's just like, what was he doing? Because you need somebody on his ass. That's the thing about Image comic books, when they were doing Image comic books, where they were just kind of like, drawing or whatever, but they couldn't get stuff done on time or whatever, because you had nobody to be like, you know what I'm saying? You needed somebody to whip that ass into shape and be like, look, Jim, all that lackadaisical bullshit, lackadaisical bullshit needs to stop. Get your ass on that damn desk. Get this shit out so we can have something go. You know what I mean? And the same thing's like you sit up here and you doing these books, but then you like what? You do 12 pages for like Action Comics. DC Comic Books Lord, the 800th page, right? 12 pages. Oh, okay. Batman and Robin 1 through 10, 2005, 2008, and still couldn't finish this shit. what, Batman Volume 1, which was great. That was for the Hush thing. Batman number 1, Eureka, Batman Gotham Knights, Black and White. Okay, 1. Detective Dark Days, The Forge, 1. Dark Days Casting, 1. Harley Quinn Volume 2, Issue 0. Okay, The Immortal Men. Oh yeah. The Immortal Men was another one that he was supposed to be working on, and he left halfway through that one too, as well. So you couldn't even finish that one. Like, damn, you couldn't even finish that one. Oh, I forgot he did Just Imagine Wonder Woman. Okay, that was fine. That was fine. I'll let you have that one, Jim. Like, I'm just going through like the ones where it's just like, because for Justice League ones, it's just like more one-offs than anything else. But most people, a good current run from him is really his X-Men stuff. Honestly, that's what people really care about, if you know what I mean. And see, like, stuff like this is what pisses me off. Justice League of America Volume 2, Issue 0, 1 page only. Like, see, that's what I'm talking about. You give him 1 page on, well, because he drew like this big old little piece. Okay, great. Can he do the rest of the comic book? And that's nothing. You know what I mean? Let's see. Oh yeah, he did the Suicide Squad Volume 5, Issue 1 through 8. So I'll let you have that one. Oh yeah, I forgot about Superman Unchained. They promoted that one as well. But most of his major stuff comes from Marvel, honestly. Like the ones where he like have the run that people really know him for or whatever. Because most of his stuff is like in variant covers from DC, but his Marvel stuff is a little bit more recognizable, which I'm not blaming or whatever. I know some people are gonna be like, well, he did this, and it's not about that. It's about the fact, like, I feel like we should have way more comic books with Jim Lee drawing from DC comic books than we do just variant covers, if that makes sense. And I understand age or whatever, but I'm talking about during the time that DC like brought his ass out, we would have been tossing his ass out in everything. You know what I'm saying? It would have got so crazy that people would have thought DC's house style was Jim Lee style. That's what I mean when I said, like, when they brought Jim Lee and he started working for DC, all of that should have been like on it, because right now it feels like he's asleep at the wheel. And again, I'm not saying Jim Lee is not a nice person. I'm not saying he's not a great talent, but creative wise, he fucking sucks. He sucks ass. And it's disappointing to see this, honestly. It's really disheartening to see, like, this great artist. You put him in charge, and it just kind of proves like how creative people can't really run things sometimes. Because yes, you need the creativity, but you need leadership that can be like whip you into shape. I don't know. I'm just kind of like rambling on my little thoughts or whatever, but you guys tell me what you think about Mr. Jim Lee. Do you guys think he's doing a good job at DC? Do you think he should have been working more on DC characters? Do you think he should have incorporated his Wildstorm characters a little bit better? Like, do you think DC was correct in renewing his contract this year? Or do you think he should have ran to Marvel and ran the new X-Men relaunch? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.